Hello again, guys. Over the last few years, the last couple of years actually, I've been making videos here in this office, but I've been sort of moving the camera setup around. I've been using a little bit different audio setup depending on when and where I'm doing it. But currently, as you can tell, I'm in a slightly different layout, a different setup, and as you can probably tell, it's really echoey in here. We replaced the carpet with hardwood, and even though I've brought the majority of the furniture back in, it's still got a massive echo in here. So I've tried to work around that a few times now by using this horrible mangle of wires. This is a lavalier microphone I picked up a couple of years ago, 4 years ago probably. It's an Audio-Technica mic. It was about 20 bucks, and it has gotten the job done for the most part until recently. Like I said, it's about 4 years old, and I think it's starting to die on me. Part of it is just the battery is dead, obviously, and the other part I think is maybe one of the parts of the wire. I've hauled this back and forth with me everywhere I've gone on different trips to events and things like that, and I think I've damaged the cable a little bit. So I've actually lost a couple of videos now because of this, partially I think because of the battery, and again partially because of the cabling. So I'm going to be very late to the party here, but I decided to go ahead and pick up a new lavalier microphone. It's time to upgrade, it's time to get something a little better, a little more expensive, maybe a little less bulky and wire-filled. This has a 20-foot long cable on it, and I really don't need that. Normally, what I'm using right now is a Tascam DR05 for the audio. I go straight from that audio recorder into the camera, so all of the actual audio stuff is in that microphone, but it has a microphone line in, so I can use the lavalier mic with it. It's great for events because I can just plug directly into it, record it, and then sync it up later in post, or I can go straight out from it into the camera, and it does all the preamp work, and it makes it sound very nice. But anyway, the point of this video is I ended up ordering something just yesterday. I actually had them overnight ship it because I'm leaving town here in a couple of hours to go for Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna have to make videos while I'm there. I'm gonna have to make videos when I get back. So I went ahead and ordered it overnight. It's the RØDE Pinmic. I've seen several videos about this. I've seen Dave Dugdale talk about it at length. He reviewed 3 different, all sorts of lavalier microphones, and this was the one that he settled upon, the one he liked the best. So I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. A little expensive, especially when you consider this is the microphone, but this doesn't have a connector on it. This just gives you a blank connector on the end. So you have to buy, in my case I bought, you can maybe see it there, it's a Micon 2 or a Micon 2 connector to 3.5mm stereo jack. So I can actually plug it into my Tascam, or I can plug it directly into the camera. Probably won't go directly into the camera because unfortunately Canon doesn't make very good preamps for their DSLR cameras. So if you have something to put in front of it to make it sound better, like my Tascam, it works out pretty well. So I thought I'd just show you what comes in the box, hook it up and test the sound differences and things like that. So here we have instruction manual, lots of information in there, I'm sure. I'm not gonna pay attention to it quite yet. I'll read through it later though. We have the waterproof, shockproof carrying case. This thing will be insanely helpful because the Audio-Technica I've been using all this time, while it has stood up pretty well to the test of time, as you can see it's not working terribly well now. It does not stand up terribly well to traveling because it does get knotted up and everything. Hopefully in this kind of case, it won't get knotted up, won't have any problems. So look at that. It's got a bunch of cool little stuff in here. First up, a thing we may not use all that much, if ever. It's a windscreen. It's a little dead cat. It's a fuzzy, actually I think they call it a dead mouse or a dead rat because it's so small. We have this, it's a little tool. It's supposed to be an adjuster for something. We'll go ahead and open it up and just see what's in it. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it's a tool that you're supposed to use with it. Then we have a clip. This is supposed to be a clip for the cable. If the cable's too long, you can kind of bunch it up inside of this clip and get it to hold it in place with your clothes and stuff. We also have a capsule. Here is the unpainted capsule. I'll do some shots of this on the side so you can sort of see it as well. But there's an unpainted capsule. It just looks like a traditional microphone head. Kind of looks like the top of my blue Yeti microphone. And then we also have the plain black head. This is the one I'll probably use the majority of the time, but I think maybe you screw the top off of this one to put that on in place of it. But like I said, I probably won't even bother with that because I like the black one for the most part. And then the last, and possibly, of course, the most important part, you have the actual microphone itself. Now this is called a pin mic because, and you won't be able to see it on this camera, but hopefully you can with the other, it has pins on it. But as you can see, it does have 3 little pins in it because you pin it into your clothes from the back side, and then you attach this little guy to the front, and it just clicks together. There you go. That's a microphone. And then of course we've got this other end with all sorts of, this contains Kevlar and potential hazard risk stuff on it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take that off because I don't want it catching on clothes or anything. But yeah, this is the microphone. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all this together. I'm gonna stick it into my clothes. That's one of the potential downsides to this, is you actually have to poke it through your clothing, and it's only got a 1.5 millimeter length on this version, so it's only gonna go through very thin clothing. I normally wear dress shirts or shirts like this, so it's not gonna be as big a deal unless I wear a big, thick, bulky sweater or something. But let's go ahead and hook it up and test it out, see how it works. All right, and as if by magic, I'm back. I have the Pinmic on, and because of the way that it works, I should be able to ruffle my clothes around a little bit and not have it make too much noise. The only problem with it is, as you can see, I'm wearing a blue shirt. It is black, so it's kind of obvious that it's there, but it's not that big of a deal. On a lot of clothes, like on a dress shirt or something, it's just gonna look like a black spot. It might look like a button or something, so it's not that big of a deal. And if it gives you a decent sounding audio, and I'm hoping that it does, that should work out for the best. Now, the downside to this thing, as I started to allude to before, is the price. As I mentioned, this little guy, this mess of wires, this jumble, was about 20 or 25 bucks on Amazon several years ago. I think it still runs about 20, 25 bucks, something like that. This thing was 250. That's significantly more. That's a massive investment. Now, it does not have a battery. It does not have anything else but phantom power requirements, which, as you can see here, I've got my test cam and it's actually providing phantom power to the device, so I'm able to get decent sounding audio out of it without having any other requirement. The cable on it is not terribly long. It's hard to really, I can't really show it, but it's running down my shirt and another 2 feet or so to the test cam. You know, I'm able to hold the test cam out a couple of feet in front of me and not stretch the wire taut, so that's kind of nice. The other potential downside, and we'll see what happens here whenever I do take this off, there's 3 holes in my shirt now. I don't think they're going to be big holes. They'll probably be sort of self-repairing a little bit, but you are going to be punching holes in your clothes when you put this on. Not a huge deal, but I guess I'll see over time, because as week to week, I do kind of use the same shirts a little here and there. Anyway, I might end up wearing dress shirts a little bit more frequently just as a result of this. But anyway, let me know what you think of the sound of this audio. Let me know what you think this versus the other. Hopefully there's not too much echo in this room anymore, because the grand majority of the echo comes from the room behind me, because there's a lot of space behind me and there's not really a good way, rather than repositioning the whole setup, there's not really a good way to get, you know, in a secluded little corner of the room with nothing open behind me. So this is just the way that I like things set up. So yeah, let me know how it sounds to you. I'll be listening to it as well as I edit, and maybe I'll just give a little image of a thumbs up or thumbs down. For 250 bucks, it better sound ridiculously awesome, and it better, I don't know, provide this little omnidirectional bubble that's not terribly big, because I've got some sound going on in the other room. My little boy's in the next room watching a movie. Hopefully you have not been able to hear that while I've been using this. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and I'll be back at you again very soon with some more videos, because I've got a lot more stuff to talk about. Bye guys.